Hello, 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 my friends. What is up? How are you? It is exciting to be back here today. You guys asked, can you use birth control with HSV? Yeah. So, birth control and herpes have nothing in common. That's actually a really good thing to bring up. A lot of times, we as women use our birth control as an excuse not to use a condom. We think, like, oh, well, I'm on birth control. That's the biggest concern. Like, yeah, right, I'm going to get an STD. And so, a lot of times, we forget and, like, use that. I'm like, you don't have to wear a condom, right? So, yeah, absolutely. Don't use your birth control as an excuse not to use a condom by any means. But with that being said, herpes and birth control have nothing in common. So, birth control is just protecting the egg from getting the sperm and creating an embryo. That's all that's doing. You can still conceive, you can have a period, everything is normal with HSV. Sorry, someone just hit a hole in one. I could hear them, so they're pretty excited over there. Yeah, so definitely birth control. Use it. Use it. It has nothing to do. Won't interfere. The only thing that could potentially happen, I guess, as I'm talking about this a little more out loud, is birth control can deal with your hormones. So until your hormones figure out, it may cause outbreaks at first, but once you get it figured out, it should be okay. You keep thinking of a random question during your daily routines. Can I use the same bar of soap on my body as I do on my private? Same thing with my towel. Yeah, absolutely. Personally, when I have an outbreak, I'm careful with my towel. I don't wipe the area or dry the area and then wipe my body with it. I kind of shy away from that area, but you can absolutely use the same bar of soap. I mean, soap is soap, right? Soap is what kills germs. It kills viruses, kills bacteria, so it kills all those things. So yeah, you can absolutely use that. Don't worry about that. Great question, though. I'm also thinking about coming out with some soaps soon, so that might be something to think about in the future. So keep in mind, some herpes, not herpes soap, that sounds bad, but soap to help fight herpes outbreaks. We'll add lysine in it and some other essential oils that can help with outbreaks. Your question for Jennifer is it normal when you're getting an outbreak to feel pain in the whole area, not just where you're getting the outbreak? Yeah. Seems like your outbreak is getting worse and worse, and pain-wise. That's interesting. It's supposed to get better. Perhaps it's still your body figuring out how to deal with it. Perhaps you're going through a change in your body. Perhaps your immune system's shifting, things like that. Maybe you have a lifestyle change. But yeah, it's okay for not okay, but it's normal for the area to feel pain. Kind of like if you get, let's just say you get a mosquito bite, right? The whole area is kind of inflamed, Hey, Andrew. Hey, Haven. Long time no see, my friend. Thank you. You're recently diagnosed, and your mind is wild. Yeah, absolutely, Carly. I understand exactly how you feel. I was just talking about this with other people. When you're first diagnosed with herpes, a lot of times your mind, you either go down into a deep depression of, oh my gosh, how'd this happen? Or you go to this race of mind where I'm going to Google everything and learn everything there is to know about it, and I'm going to cure herpes. You think you're going to find the cure, you know what I mean? Or you just freeze and you're I don't know what to do, and I'm just going to sit here. So those are kind of the three stages that we go through, or three responses to being diagnosed. And what I recommend because when your mind is going, some of the things that I recommend when we do our emergency coaching, which is our one-on-one coaching, I recommend, so our brains, we can train them to think different things. So for example, when you start going crazy about herpes or whatever it is, any type of worry, whether it's finances, whether it's a date, whether it's a test, whatever it is, if we tell ourselves, I'm only going to allow myself to worry about this at this point in time, and the rest of the times I can't worry about it, then you train your mind not to worry about it. So for example, if you're I am worried about herpes, and you start going I need to Google this and Google that and da-da-da-da, write down your worries or your concerns and set a time. So whether it's Tuesdays at 1 p.m. from 1 to 1:30, whether it's every day from 1 to 1:30, whether it's twice a day, whether it's 10 a.m. and 1, whatever it is, and just say, like, that's the only time I can worry about this. And that's a really good way to train your mind to stop just living in that whirlwind and that up and down roller coaster emotion that can really paralyze you from doing your job, from being present with your friends and family, from being present with yourself, from just taking care of your body in the way it needs to do. And when you create that flurry in your mind, it fogs you and doesn't allow you to move forward and be you. And then you're trapped and you're stuck in this, exactly what the herpes virus wants you to be. You're stuck in this stigma. Gosh, I am like, talk about forgetting words. I am off today. I've been off all day. Is it possible to have your oral HSV and HSV1? See, you can't even speak straight. Is it possible to have oral HSV1 and your partner not ever get it? Yeah, it is it's totally possible to have herpes and have thanks for the hearts, and have your partner not get it. I have both oral and genital herpes, and my husband does not. So, so far so good. I kiss him every day. I kiss my son every day. So yeah, they're exposed to it, and so far we're good. The good news with HSV1 is it sheds less than HSV2. So that's good news. And also, the longer you have the virus, the less likely you are to shed. So that's also great news. Do you have a video, or do you know one that explains in depth how to safely have sex with herpes with a partner that doesn't have it? Also incredibly thankful for your channel. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do have a video on like safe sex. Or if you go to my website, lifewithherpes.com, and like search in there, it says like safe sex, there should be something up. But something to remember, and this is usually how herpes is transmitted, is we all think, oh yeah, just use a condom and you'll be fine. But what ends up happening is we don't use a condom for foreplay, and we forget about after when we have sex. Like we think like just like the action of having sex is what causes you to transfer herpes. And there's other things that you can do, and not using a condom can potentially put you at risk of transmission or, contracting it. So I would say the most important thing is like wherever you have your herpes virus, just be aware, like if you're cuddling with your partner, you could still transmit it even though you're not having sex, if that makes sense. So just be aware of where you have it. And also know that the condom only covers 30 to 50% of, only protects you 30 to 50% of the time. So when that happens, depending on where you have herpes, the condom may or may not be protecting you or your partner from transmission. Perfect example, I'll use a male as an example because you guys just have everything hanging out. If you have herpes on your testicles or balls or whatever you want to call it, that's not covered or protected by a condom. So using a condom isn't going to protect you from transmission to your partner. I mean, it may or may not. You could also have herpes on your penis and not be aware of it. But if you get outbreaks on your balls, most likely that's where you're contagious. So those are just some things to consider, which really boils down to, I don't want you to go to, oh my gosh, I can never have sex again, like my whole body's contagious. No, that's not where I want you to go with this. Where I want you to go, and where it really is like where the harmony meets, is when you and your partner are on the same page as this, and you and your partner are in agreement of what the best methods of protection are. So whether your partner's like, you know what, I understand, let's just use the condom, I am aware of my risks, great. If your partner's like, you know what, I'm at the point of a relationship, we're at the part of a relationship, we're like, we're not gonna use a condom, great. If you and your partner are like, you know what, I think that the person that's infected with herpes needs to be taking the daily antiviral, because that is the best method of preventing viral shedding and potential outbreaks, then great. So there's a lot of different things. The key here is communicating with your partner. Not telling your partner, thinking they're never going to find out, or trying to hide it, just creates anxiety for you. It creates like thorns in your relationship, right? Like there's a lack of foundation there. And then you're probably going to transfer it to your partner because you're going to be afraid to tell them if you have an outbreak or things like that. So, yeah. I have HSV1 and also wonder, do I need to disclose that I have it every time I kiss a guy? I have never had a cold sore on my mouth and not sure that I'll change after my diagnosis of shedding. I don't know. So Carly, the correct answer is yes, because you are potentially able to transfer it to potential partners. The good news is that, and I'll speak for myself, I have oral HSV1. I've never disclosed to a partner before kissing them. So I'm not trying to say do as I say, not as I do. I'm just saying that I didn't know that I needed to tell people. So I did not. However, for genital herpes, I was very adamant about disclosure. So that was one. It just goes to show the difference between the stigmas. Oral herpes is like, everyone has it. Like, whatever, you don't need to disclose. And genital herpes is like, you better disclose and you're never going to have sex again because it's disgusting. It's a very different stigma. And neither one are true, and both of them are true, and, the whole thing. So when I say both of them are true, both oral and genital herpes are herpes. There's no difference. Both should be disclosed. The good news with oral herpes is 2 out of 3 people have it. So most likely the person that you're going to disclose to or kiss, they've already kissed somebody with it, or they have someone in their life that has it, or they have it. So that's really good news. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I left anything out on that. Yeah. When did you start to feel happy after diagnosis? That's so interesting you asked this, because today I was talking to someone and I was like, I should really create a timeline of like the day I was diagnosed to where I am today, and like the ups and downs and the roller coaster I went on. Oh, good, Carly. I'm glad that's helpful. The roller coaster I went on through my diagnosis of being diagnosed with genital herpes. And I will say it took me 2 years. It took me about 2 years. I was about 28 years old, and it was when I was 30 that I was like, okay, I got this. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of self-help, self-love, self-acceptance, self-forgiveness. It took a lot of internal work. It was a really good opportunity to work on that. Here's the good news about herpes. And when I say good news, I know you're like, what? But I mean good news. Like, it really forces you to get through the uncomfortable things in your life. So herpes is just the scapegoat for a lot of other issues in our life. It's the scapegoat for why you can't get the job you want. It's the scapegoat for why you can't lose your weight and get into shape. It's the scapegoat for why you're in a relationship or not in a relationship. It's a scapegoat for whatever. So like, we use it as the reason, as our glass ceiling. And so it really forces us to bring all these things to the forefront if we want to move past it. If we want to stay a victim to it and be, all caught up in that, then that's where we're going to stay. But until we get through all the negative thoughts and the things like that, that's when the beauty happens. Hey, Alexandra. Hey, Camille. It's Soul. No, Eerie. It's Soul. Eerie Soul. Hey, everybody. So that's where all the beautiful stuff happens, when you finally accept it. Oh, come on, I'm trying to. Okay, it's not working. Does HSV lead to HIV? No, and I get this question a lot. No, so HSV and HIV are 2 completely separate viruses. So one virus can't lead into another virus. So HSV is herpes simplex virus, and HIV is human immunovirus. I can't pronounce the rest of it. I don't know. I'm not an HIV expert, but I do know that herpes does not translate to herpes. AIDS, HIV. How did the first person you disclose your diagnosis to react? How did you react to your first negative response? The first person I told was the guy that I was dating, and he did not react very well at all. It was a really bad reaction. But once I got past that and went out and dating, I cried. The first couple times I totally cried. Then I got kind of witty with it and would use it as a disclosure, hoping that the guy would not call me again, and they would. And I'm like, damn it, he's called again. So it kind of backfired once I got cocky with it. No pun intended. But when it was with somebody that I truly cared about was when I got scared. So when I was dating somebody I got very nervous to tell him and was just like, you know what? It is what it is. I was at that point though where I was okay. Either way, if he said, gosh, it's not okay with me, then I was like, I knew I would have hurt, obviously, but I would have said, okay, he's not the right person for me. Thank you for the fun times we had. Like, no hard feelings. So yeah, I mean, of course, when the rejection happens, it hurts on any level, but I just had this greater faith and this greater belief that there was somebody else for me that would have, like, it's like, you want to jump, how high? Like, that's their response. So with my husband, it was, and with the last guy too, he was totally fine with it. With my husband, he's like, I don't care, whatever. Like, what does it mean? Just tell me what it means and great. I don't care. This may sound like a silly question. I'm completely terrified to allow my children to sleep with me or even lay in bed with me. I love seeing your interaction with Clinton. It gives me such a sense of peace. Oh my gosh, Jennifer, cuddle with your children, be with your children. They're not going to get it from your sheets. They're not going to get it unless they touch your genitals. That's where they're going to get it from. But don't be afraid to like cuddle with your children and be with your children. Please, 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 please don't do that. Oh my gosh. It's such a beautiful time and a special time, and there's nothing like it. That like cuddle and love and that connection. There's nothing like it. So please do that. Please. And you have to think, okay, the worst thing that's going to happen is they get herpes. That's the worst. And yeah, that sucks. But I think them not having that connection and that love and that cuddle time and that just the caress is far worse than them getting herpes. I just think that does far worse of mental issues or like sensory issues than it would to touch and cuddle and all that fun stuff. All right. Any last questions, my friends? I think that I have to take a nap. I have like hit such a like, whew, I just waited too long to have lunch and like my energy is shot. I hate when that happens. Okay. Did I join any support groups right away? There were none. So this was back like 2011. There were no support groups. It didn't exist. Like, social media was still new. You know what I mean? Like, there was Instagram, but like, it was so new. How do you join mine? You should absolutely join the Secret Society. There's hundreds of people throughout the world. We have our Monday AM and Monday PM live support groups, which are awesome. Just go click the link in my bio and go to click on start here and then scroll down to number 4, which is Secret Society, and that's where you can join the Secret Society. Honestly, like, I wish I had it when I was first diagnosed, and that's why I created it. Oh good, I'm glad that you like these. Yeah, I'm gonna have a nap. Thank you. Like, I just need to close my eyes for a minute. My husband's out of town, so I've been full steam. All right, I'll see you all tomorrow. I love and appreciate you all, and have a blessed rest of your day.